What's going on, fellas? Today's video, I want to talk about, now, this is just my personal preference. Some of you guys may be looking at whatever truck you're going to buy as far as looks or word of mouth, what somebody else tells you about the truck. But this is how I go about buying trucks, and this is my guideline on how to buy trucks. I don't buy trucks for looks, except when it comes to the Volvo. I just think the Volvo is a robotic looking truck, but I think it's the smoothest ride out there. And as far as saving you fuel, I think that's the truck that's going to save you the most fuel right now out there in the market. But this is how I go. This is how I base when I'm going to buy a truck. This is what I go based off of. Mainly maintenance. How much is it going to cost me to do the maintenance on the trucks? So let me give you guys an idea of what I go through, as far as trying to buy a truck. Let's start off with the internationals. And again, this is just my personal reference. We all have our cup of tea, so if you disagree, I think by the end of this video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about because the international itself, of course, you don't want to buy no truck that has a Packard engine or a Max Force engine. They suck. They suck. But let me get to the international, and you guys probably get an idea of what I'm talking about. International. The one reason why I wouldn't buy an international, it can have a Cummins engine. It can have a Detroit engine. It doesn't matter. But the one reason why I wouldn't buy an international is because the parts on that truck they're out of this world. Like for instance, the cab shocks on the international. Yeah, they last a long time, but when it comes to replacing them, they're gonna cost you about $250 a piece. Just the parts alone on that truck, they're too expensive. The radiator that comes on that truck, there's some hoses that are connected to metal pipes, and International just doesn't sell the plastic hose. You have to buy the whole assembly, the metal pipe and the plastic hose. So that's one reason why I wouldn't buy an international. The parts, I'm not talking about the engine. The parts on that truck are too expensive. Way too expensive. It's a good truck. It's a good airflow truck. It drives like a dream, but it's just the parts. The parts are too expensive on that truck. And again, if you're going to buy an international, don't buy a Max Force engine or a Packard engine. Some people, again, might have a different opinion about it, but this is my personal reference. This is how I go based off of buying trucks. A Mack truck, of course, some of you guys know, especially the ones that have driven Macks, they're heavy trucks. But the maintenance on them is cheap, they're not cheap, but it's the norm as far as part prices and stuff like that. So I don't have much to say about the Mack truck other than it's a heavy truck. Volvo, of course. You guys know my reasons. Don't like the look of it. It looks robotic. Not only that, there's not too many people that can mess with the Volvo other than the dealer. And we all know the dealer is going to drain us for every penny when it comes to fixing that damn truck. Peterbilt and Kenworth, God, I don't have much to say about them trucks. Of course, the Kenworth looks like a big old bubble. The new ones, they're all right, I guess. Peterbilts, I wouldn't buy a Peterbilt because my thing is that would be my retiring truck if I was to buy a Peterbilt. And I'm nowhere near retiring, so. Freightliner, of course. Big Freightliner. Love them Freightliners. DD13s and DD15s. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? It's my favorite truck, but it's got its real bad issues. Just doing an oil change, just doing the filters alone, which would be the oil filters, the cooling filters, $250. That's what you're gonna spend on just filters. When the Cummins engine, the Detroit 60 engine, the Volvo engine, what else we got? Caterpillar engine. On your filters on them engines, you're spending, I don't know, no more than $70, $80 on just filters alone, And when it comes to the DD15 and DD13, $250 just on the filters alone, fellas. So, it puts a hole in your pocket. Not only that, the DD15, DD13, everything is so compressed. The engine compartment is so damn compressed. To get to parts is just a mission, You got to be a small person with small arms, skinny hands to get into some of these places. They're a mission to get into these engines. Now, as far as the parts on the DD13 and the DD15, they're the norm, Other than when it comes to doing the oil changes, well, not the oil changes, the filter changes on the DD15 and DD13, and everything's just compressed on them engines, on them two engines. Everything's just it's packed in, That's the bad thing about that DD15 and DD13. In order to get to a certain part, you have to take out a whole bunch of parts just to get to that one part, so you can free up some room, So that's how I go based off of trucks, I would love to buy a Freightliner with the Cummins engine, Mack truck, Even though it is a heavy truck, I wouldn't mind buying it as well. But that's the kind of list that I go through when it comes to looking at trucks. And I think some of you guys should look into this stuff as well, maintenance wise, how much are you going to spend on an oil change on that certain engine? How much are the parts on that truck that you're looking into, Like I said, the one that has the most expensive parts is International. Volvo, only the dealer can work on it. A Detroit engine, which is a Series 60 or a DD15 or DD13, anybody can touch it. Anybody, most mom and pop shops, they already got the hang of them engines. It's just the Volvo. Volvo, not too many people can get the hang of that engine. So if you're gonna buy a truck, that's what you want to look at. Your maintenance costs, not only when it comes to servicing your truck, but just the parts alone. Shocks, spring leaves, tie rods, kingpins, stuff like that, As far as the engines, again, can't stress this enough. Do not get yourself a Max Force. Do not get yourself a Packard engine. They are trash. You are gonna be spending a whole bunch of money into these engines, you know. And that, again, that's just my personal reference. Uh, there's a lot of people that, you know, love internationals. You know, they love Volvos. You know, but that's just the way I look at it. You know, I'm looking at it from the money perspective. You know, how much money am I gonna spend on this truck when it needs a part, or am I gonna be able to do it, or do I have to get a special person to dip their hands into this engine? You know, that's the way I look at it. You know. All right, fellas. I just thought I'd drop this video. I've been getting a lot of emails. You know, what truck should I look into? And again, it's not mainly the engine that you're looking into. You're also looking at the parts of the truck. You know, how much are you going to spend on parts on truck besides the engine? You know, the engine, take under consideration if you got a Cummins engine, you got a Volvo engine, a Caterpillar engine, a Series 60 engine, parts are going to be at the norm price, you know, and easy to get to. DD15, DD13, they're hard to get into that engine. The parts, everything's compressed, you know, so it's a mission to work on them engines. Okay, fellas, well, just thought I'd drop this video. Hopefully it was informative for you guys. If you're out there driving, drive safe, be safe. We'll see you guys on our next video.